Welcome back to What Happens If, the only channel on YouTube where we discuss what happens if. Now, today is a very important day as we will be discussing what happens if a bear attacks. Now, here's the thing. This might be very pertinent to you. This might not be very pertinent to you, but if you ever found yourself out in the forest late at night or maybe early in the morning, well, this is what you should do if you're attacked by a bear. But before we get into it, I actually want to state a few very interesting facts about bears. When doing the research for this video, bears are extraordinarily intelligent animals, actually. They have far superior navigation skills to humans. In fact, excellent memories as well. Large brain-to-body ratio, which could be a little bit deceiving, and use tools in various contexts from play to hunting, which, reminds you of some sort of like prototypical human being. Bears actually grieve deeply for others, so please, while bears are quite mean in some cases, don't hunt them. They're actually known to have an immense capacity for empathy. Cubs will actually moan and cry when separated from their mothers, maybe like a hunter kills them or something like that, for weeks actually. It's really, really sad. Bears have excellent senses of smell, sight, and hearing, so they can spot you from quite far away, and yes, they can outrun you. They can smell food, cubs, a mate, or predator from miles away. Their great eyesight allows them to detect when fruits are actually even ripe. Some species of Asiatic bears build nests in trees, actually, like they literally climb into trees and live there. They can use these for hiding, eating, and even sleeping. And bears just care deeply about their own family members. It's quite cute. So, now we will be getting into the video. Without further ado, number 5. Don't panic. While a bear encounter might be shocking, panicking could only make it worse, actually. Chris Norcott, a wildlife photographer who focuses particularly on black bears, has a refreshing perspective to help keep you calm. If you encounter a black bear, he says, consider yourself very lucky. They actually are pretty damn shy. They're not really interested in attacking you. They're actually kind of afraid of you, in a way. While they're actually quite powerful enough to kill you, indeed, you shouldn't panic too much, as that's just going to provoke them. If you stay calm, they will still stay calm as well. Respect the bear, as they say. And Norcott's right. Bears almost never attack people, actually. You're, in fact, statistically more likely to get struck by lightning. Most negative black bear encounters are caused by surprising the bears or giving them a reason to think you are a threat, actually. So here's the thing. Maybe don't consider not giving or not throwing a birthday party, a surprise birthday party for bears out there. It might cause them to attack you. They don't take that well. Like black bears, grizzlies and other brown bears do not like being surprised by people. Definitely do not like being surprised by people, actually. While grizzly bears rarely attack people, says Carrie Gunther, a bear biologist with Yellowstone National Park, most attacks that do occur involve surprise encounters between hikers and grizzly bears in backcountry areas. So think about it, you're walking along that nice mountain front, it's beautiful outside, and for whatever reason you're dancing around, you're flailing your hands around, and then a bear just pops out of nowhere and says, hey, where's the surprise party at? And then disaster strikes. On to the next one. Number 4, make your presence known. If you're out walking in the woods and you spot a bear, act like you would with a stranger. You wouldn't run up to a person on the street and hug them, nor would you sprint away screaming. Be calm, stand your ground, and talk calmly so the bear knows you're there. In fact, say some very assertive type words, which we'll get to in just a second over here. Give the bear space, and he or she will usually go about their business while ignoring your presence. They really have no interest in attacking humans, actually. But always make your presence known. Black bears are naturally fearful of humans, so it's not wise to surprise a black bear. Slowly wave your arms as you back away, and definitely do back away, as people are asked to do. Now, Yosemite is home to approximately 500 black bears, just as an aside here, and visitors are typically asked to say literally this: "Go away, bear," and other words that might affect to encourage the bear to actually leave. Yes, bears sometimes do even speak English. National parks don't want bears to associate people with food sources, as that obviously just encourages them to come back. So again, don't give them food. On to the next one. Number 3, hike in a group of at least 3 people. So aptly named for number 3. Bears don't like to approach groups of people, actually, so hiking with friends is much safer than hiking alone. But this isn't enough. During the hike, make sure to be alert and actually carry something that's called bear spray, which is pretty similar to pepper spray. Anyways, make noise in blind spots along the trail so you don't surprise any bears along the way, as they would love to know your presence. And of course, if they do get too close, you may use that bear spray. It's actually quite effective, but again, you do want to maintain a distance of about a football field away from the bear. So retreat calmly as you get your distance away from that bear. On to the next one. Now, before we get into number 2, I want to quickly remind you that the best and only way to keep in touch with What Happens This is to please consider liking and subscribing. All right. Number 2. If a black bear attacks, fight back. Yes, you should actually fight back. Now let's get into it. Most likely, black bears will just go about their own business, really. Black bears are naturally inclined to flee from what they perceive as danger rather than attack. They're actually quite timid in some ways. In some ways, I should say. And really, black bears are also excellent communicators and very predictable if you just understand their actual body language cues. So here's some tips. If things start to get a little bit, hot, I suppose you could say, and a black bear stands on his hind legs, don't get scared. This is usually just a sign of curiosity, not necessarily a sign of aggression. Now, don't confuse that. On the other hand, if a black bear actually pounces forward on his front feet and bellows, that is a sign that he's afraid, and when black bears are afraid, that is a time that maybe you should consider backing away. Mothers with cubs actually sometimes make what's called bluff charges, which are just little short rushes or series of forward pounces. These are signs of nervousness, actually, and not an intent to attack. If this actually happens, momentarily hold your ground. Then keep backing away and talking softly. If the worst thing actually happens and there's a terrible miscommunication, don't play dead when a black bear attacks, but actually fight back. They do not want an easy competitor. On to the next one. Now, before we go, I just want to have one little last bear PSA. Consider it that, just a public service announcement on bears. Now, for some, this might seem obvious, but it's actually quite a problem. And that is this: never take a selfie with a bear. Now, this should really be implied, but again, amazingly enough, some people really do get, carried away. They're very encouraged by their own selfie-taking behaviors, and they will get up and close with these animals and try to snap selfies with them. Actually, in the last 2 years, there's been an increase in people vying for an impressive selfie with bears. So, no selfie for any animal, especially a very dangerous bear, is ever worth getting killed or condemning an animal to death, as they actually will kill the animal if it does attack a human. So that's it for this week. I want you to comment in the comment section below. Have you ever been attacked by a bear? What did you do? What would you do? And also, please do let me know if you would like to have any sort of What Happens If dedicated in your favor. I'd be happy to shout you out, and I'm always looking for new ideas. So until next time, take care, and I'll see you guys soon.